Assalamu alaikum. So today is second lecture of our acid-base wellness, and the topic of our discussion today is the respiratory and the renal regulation. The respiratory regulation is the second line of defense, and it is achieved by regulating the concentration of carbonic acid in the blood and other body fluids by the lungs. The respiratory center in the brain regulates the removal and retention of carbon dioxide and thereby bicarbonate from the extracellular fluids by the lungs. The lungs then function by maintaining one component, that is carbonic acid of the bicarbonate buffer. In case of alkalosis, there will be slow, shallower breath to compensate for the reduced carbon dioxide loss and conserve hydrogen ions. And in case of acidosis, the breathing will become rapid and deeper to lose more and more carbon dioxide and hence reduce the hydrogen ion concentration. So, as you can see, the hemostasis is maintained when pH of blood should be 7.35 to 7.45. In other words, when partial pressure of carbon dioxide should be 40 to 45 millimeter of mercury. What happens if the partial pressure of carbon dioxide increases? That is because of slow breathing. There will be this carbonic anhydrase enzyme will act, and this carbon dioxide will change into carbonic acid, which will split into hydrogen ions and the bicarbonate ions. Hence the hydrogen ion concentration will increase in blood, therefore reducing the blood pH. So this is what happens in the acidic environment, and to compensate this pH, this carbon dioxide partial pressure should become back to normal, for which the breathing should become faster and rapid breathe in order to remove more and more carbon dioxide from the blood. And here you can see when the partial pressure of carbon dioxide reduces, the pH will fall, pH will raise. Why pH will raise? Because the uh, carbon dioxide and water, this carbon dioxide and water, this carbon dioxide is being removed and the level of carbon dioxide falls in the blood, so the reaction occurs in reverse and carbonic acid dissociates into carbon dioxide and water. Hence, this removes these hydrogen ions from the solution forms and increases the blood pH to alkaline. So, in case of alkalosis, the respiratory alkalosis, the carbon dioxide partial pressure will be less, and to compensate for this reduced carbon dioxide pressure, the pH should return back to normal, so the hydrogen ions should be conserved. What happens in case of renal regulation is that renal regulation, it is the third line of defense, but it is the most definite defense. Why? Because in case of chemical buffer system, they can tie up excess acids or bases, but they cannot eliminate them from body. And in case of lungs, they can eliminate carbonic acid, which is a volatile acid, by eliminating carbon dioxide. However, these are only the kidneys which excrete the body of metabolic acids like phosphoric, uric and lactic acids and ketone bodies and prevent metabolic acidosis. So how the kidneys act? They act by five mechanisms. Out of these, three are the main ones. Number one, secretion of hydrogen ions. Number two, reabsorption of filtered bicarbonate. Then is the excretion of titratable acids, production of new bicarbonate and excretion of ammonium ions. And first we will see the excretion of hydrogen ions. This is the renal tubular cell. This is the urine in the renal tubule lumen, and this is the blood vessel. So what happens is that sodium hydrogen counter transport occurs. This hydrogen ion is excreted into the urine. It is combined with negatively charged ion and excreted in acidic form. And this sodium is again reabsorbed into bloodstream. Here the carbonic anhydrase reaction takes place. Carbon dioxide combines with water into carbonic acid. This bicarbonate is reabsorbed and this hydrogen is excreted as countertransport. What happens next is the reabsorption of bicarbonate. As you remember from the previous slide as well, this bicarbonate, which was released by carbonic anhydrase enzyme, was reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. Here you can see that in the lumen of the renal tubule, this bicarbonate ion is coming from the plasma, and sodium hydrogen countertransport is releasing hydrogen ion. This hydrogen is combining with bicarbonate, which then in carbonic acid, which then converts into carbon dioxide and water. This carbon dioxide is reabsorbed and the reverse reaction occurs, and bicarbonate ion and hydrogen ion are formed. This bicarbonate is reabsorbed and this hydrogen is again secreted into the urine. And then is the excretion of titratable acids like phosphoric acid and phosphate ions. So this sodium biphosphate is coming in from plasma into the urine, and this combines with the hydrogen ion secreted to form sodium dihydrophosphate, which is the phosphoric acid, and this is excreted out of the urine. Hence the body is getting rid of the fixed acid. So then comes the excretion of ammonium. Ammonia is generated from the protein metabolism, like from metabolism of glutamine. It is released by diffusion into the renal tubule lumen, and it combines with hydrogen ion to form ammonium. This ammonium is excreted out in urine. And these all mechanisms in this diagram are shown together. Number one is the bicarbonate hydrogen ion reaction of carbonic anhydrase. Here you can see that hydrogen ion from the tubular cell is being secreted into the urine by sodium hydrogen countertransport. On number two, this hydrogen ion is actively by active transport coming out of the renal tubular cell and combining with phosphoric ions or the phosphate buffer system. This phosphate and hydrogen is excreting out as phosphoric acid. And on the number 3, you can see that hydrogen chloride co-transport occurring. This hydrogen is combined with ammonia to form ammonium, and this is also being excreted out. And on the other hand, on capillary side, you can see that the bicarbonate, which was released from carbonic acid, is reabsorbed with sodium bicarbonate co-transport into the capillaries, and also by chloride bicarbonate countertransport. So the kidneys take care of the fixed or non-volatile acids and also the byproducts of protein metabolism like ammonium and anaerobic respiration, and the kidneys should reabsorb bicarbonate, which is being constantly filtered from blood. Both of these tasks are accomplished by secretion of hydrogen ions, and only about 10% of hydrogen ions secreted will be excreted. As a result of hydrogen ion excretion, the urine pH is usually acidic, which is 6.0, and the renal response to pH changes is, in case of acidosis, the kidneys will try to retain bicarbonate and excrete out hydrogen ions. Hence, the urine will become more acidic to reduce the amount of acids in the blood. And in case of alkalosis, the kidneys will eliminate bicarbonate, that is, they will get rid of bicarbonate in the urine, and they will try to retain hydrogen ions, that is, they will secrete less hydrogen ion in the urine. So the pH of the urine will increase, or the urine will become more alkaline. And the disorders of acid-base balance include acidemia, which means the presence of acid in blood, that is, pH is less than 7.35 with increased hydrogen ion concentration. Alkalemia, blood pH more than 7.45 with decreased hydrogen ion concentration. Acidosis is an abnormal disease process which reduces pH due to increase in acid or decrease in alkali. Alkalosis is abnormal process or disease which increase pH due to decrease in acid or increase in alkali. And here you can remember this mnemonic that pH, when there is alkalosis, there is kicking up of pH or increase in pH. In case of acidosis, there is sliding down of pH. And the classification of acid-base disorders depends upon concentration of partial pressure concentration of carbon dioxide, and also the blood concentration of bicarbonate ion. So it is of two types, respiratory and metabolic. In case of respiratory acidosis, PCO2 will be increased. In case of respiratory alkalosis, PCO2 will decreased. And in case of metabolic alkalosis, concentration of bicarbonate will be increased in plasma. In case of metabolic acidosis, the concentration of hydrogen bicarbonate ions will be decreased in plasma. And also remember one thing, in case of respiratory acidosis, there will be renal compensation. In case of respiratory alkalosis, again there will be renal compensation. In case of metabolic alkalosis and acidosis, the compensation will be by lungs. And you can remember this by a mnemonic which is ROM, that in respiratory opposite occurs and in metabolic equal occurs, which is pH increases and partial pressure of carbon dioxide decreases in respiratory alkalosis. pH decreases and PCO2 increases in respiratory acidosis. In metabolic, these are equal, that is pH and bicarbonate both increases in metabolic alkalosis. pH and bicarbonate both decrease in metabolic acidosis. So here you can briefly see the causes of alkalosis. Hyperventilation is the cause of respiratory alkalosis. Also high altitude, pregnancy, fever, hypoxia, and initial stage of pulmonary embolism and anxiety. And in case of metabolic alkalosis, antacid overdose or protein wasting diuretics or vomiting with loss of gastric juices, they all lead to metabolic alkalosis. And here you can see the causes of acidosis. In case of respiratory acidosis, the cause is hypoventilation and some drug overuse and pulmonary edema or chest injuries or neuromuscular disease or respiratory obstruction. And in case of in case of metabolic acidosis, the causes can be diarrhea, sepsis, shock, diabetic ketoacidosis, salicylate poisoning, or renal tubular acidosis, which is because of renal failure. So that's all for today, but this was not the last topic of your unit. Hope to see you soon next time. Thank you.